Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. New TravelPal app launched. Transport Minister Robert Montague says the newly launched travel app application will allow citizens to push back against the criminal activities of some illegal taxi operators. The app, launched yesterday, will enable commuters to use their mobile devices to scan the registration plates of units used as public passenger vehicles and verify if they are licensed by the Transport Authority.
The police have had many instances where people have called that they know their relative took a taxi and they can't be found, and you hear the news report. But when you do the investigation, most of the times, these are not taxi drivers. They are robots. And then we sympathize and empathize that you have to give a man a chance, you have to give a man a blight to make a living. So you allow him to run illegally. And then when he creates mayhem in the society, you blame the government. So this has to be a collaborative effort. So we are going to put into the hands of Jamaicans a weapon. Not a weapon of mass destruction, but a weapon to even the scales, to allow ordinary citizens to push back against criminality. So if it is not a licensed and registered operator, is your first warning, no go in there. Go in there on your own. We put that weapon in your hands. Do not go in there. You are safer standing at that bus stop than going with an illegal operator. Because what happens when you go with an illegal operator and they carry you home? A criminal knows where you live. You don't know him, but he knows where you live now. So that is what you do. You give the criminal elements information. The reason we have not activated that is that there's an MOU that must be signed between the Transport Authority and the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And while the MOU is complete, the lawyers have to review. And we could have waited until after Christmas, but because we felt that this is the time, the panic button will soon become a reality once we sign off on that MOU.
Education Minister pushes back against poor grade given to ministry by JAPSS. Education Minister Favour Williams is seeking to defend her ministry against criticisms from President of the Jamaica Association of Principals of Secondary Schools, Linville Wright, who given the ministry a failing grade. Wright described Williams' leadership as poor. In a post on Facebook, Wright said, "The crisis of leadership in education is distressing, and it is time we call out the top leadership of the ministry who continue to be impressed with themselves, while many who know better are aghast in the in-depth and judicious leadership weighing down on our education ministry." Minister Williams notes that there are some challenges faced in the ministry.
Those are very strong words, but also, the principals of schools are leaders as well, and they're only an arm's length removed from the minister, meaning the principals report to a board and the board reports to me, so they're not that far away removed from the minister. So they are part of the leadership as well. And so I'm saying going forward, there will be a much closer working relationship with JAPS. I'm going to say that there are some good things happening, but also to admit that there are some stubborn issues that until we fix those, persons in the education sector will continue to feel frustrated, and of course, that will express itself.
3 killed across Western Jamaica on Monday night. Gunmen struck in Western Jamaica on Monday night, leaving at least 3 people dead following separate shootings in St. James and Westmoreland. One of the deceased individual has been identified as 48-year-old Anthony Doman, a farmer of Okiwalk, New Hampton, St. James. According to police reports, Doman was in his yard about 8 p.m. when he was pounced upon by gunmen who shot him several times. He was later pronounced dead at hospital. Over in Westmoreland, 2 persons were gunned down at a football field in Kingswood in the parish, also on Monday night. While confirming the incident, the Corporate Communications Unit, the police information arm, said details surrounding the shooting were not available. The identity of those killed were also not available, though sources reported that a woman was among those killed. Up to Saturday, Westmoreland and St. James have recorded 123 and 155 murders respectively. Westmoreland in particular has been rocked by several murders recently, including the grisly killing of 2 goat farmers last week. Public health expert critical on Ronald's protocols for private doctors to participate in vaccination program. Associate Professor at the School of Public Health at the University of the West Indies UTEC, Dr. Alverston Bailey, is described as onerous the protocol doctors must satisfy in order to participate in the national program to administer COVID-19 vaccines. The Health and Wellness Ministry says despite several calls for it to allow private doctors to administer the jab, only a few have taken up the opportunity now that they're allowed to do so. But Dr. Bailey says the set of criteria acts as a disincentive.
The protocol that we have been asked to follow is onerous and basically, in my opinion, almost a disincentive for us to take up the offer. The protocol, from what I gather, is that we should go to the health center to collect the vaccines, take them to offices, and then we have to take back the vaccines to the health center, which makes no sense to me. It would be far more sensible for the doctors because I can't see what infrastructure the health center might have that a doctor's office doesn't have. The other thing too, which I find very challenging, is the perception that has been portrayed the doctors need training and need to learn how to give injections, which is really most unfortunate because that's what we do. I spent 7 years in medical school and during all my time, that's what we do. We give injections and we give far more lethal medications than the vaccine is actually, to give the vaccine is actually an elementary procedure. We don't need any training for that. A colleague of mine told me, and I'd love for this matter to be clarified by the Minister of Health, that they need to have access to an ambulance nearby, just in case an allergic reaction is observed. That again does not make any sense. Most parishes just have one ambulance at a fabricate. And I can't understand why we need to have an ambulance when all doctors are trained in advanced cardiac life support. That's what we do. We resuscitate people. We don't need an ambulance to take them to the hospital for them to do at the hospital what we would do in our practices. It makes no sense.
St. James taxi driver charged with abduction and rape. 24-year-old Shamar Winter, a taxi operator of Tank Road in Cambridge, St. James, was arrested and charged with forcible abduction and rape following an incident in his community on Monday, December 13. Reports from the St. James Center for the Investigation of Sexual Offences and Child Abuse Sissoko are that a teenager was walking along the roadway when she was offered a ride by Winter. Winter subsequently drove to a lonely area in the community where he raped the teen. A report was made to the police and an investigation launched. Winter was arrested on Thursday, December 16, along Barnett Street in the parish after he was pointed out by the teen. He was later charged. His court date is being finalized. Indian High Commission rolls out free medical camps.
500 patients today because we have at least 10 doctors, about 10 nurses, 3 pharmacists, and then volunteers. And overall, from these camps, what we hope to achieve is better camaraderie between the Indian community in Jamaica and the Jamaican people, and also to take the Indian-Jamaica relationship to a new level. Also, India is very strong as far as pharmaceuticals are concerned. And also, India is churning out a lot of doctors. In fact, if you go to the UK or to the US, Indian doctors form the backbone of their medical system. And we have about 50 Indian doctors who are practicing here in Jamaica. So we thought that if the High Commission can provide a platform to the Indian doctors and get medicines as donations from the Indian pharmaceutical companies, we can cater to the medical needs of a lot of people. So that's how the idea came in. And this year we are also celebrating 75 years of Indian independence. So we thought that let's club the two and let's do something good this 75th year. So this January also we did 13 simultaneous medical camps all across Jamaica. The Gleaner covered it. But because when we do a lot of medical camps together, our resources spread thin. So now we have decided to do 2-3 medical camps every month. So this time is Kingston. We are doing 3 camps. One in the Constant Spring Library, other in Halfway Tree, and the third is here. Next month we plan to go to Montego Bay, and then move to Manchester and to St. Mary and so on and so forth. 1 or 2 medical camps per month.
We've been seeing quite a good amount of patients out here. We've been seeing, all varieties, patients with arthritis, patients with diabetes, hypertension, and we try to do whatever is best. regarding medications. The pharmaceutical companies also have been kind enough to donate medications. So we try to work within the system. We give them prescriptions and then including blood tests. Sometimes some of the patients need some of the blood tests. We try to facilitate them to the maximum.
And from what you have observed when interacting with the patients, what is their mood? How have they been responding? Have they been recipient to the support that they've been given?
Of course, there have been. We've seen quite a decent number of patients. We've been here from about, I think, 9:30, 9:45, and we've seen a pretty steady trickle. The Indian High Commission is organizing this with with our support, with the local support. So we thought we are going to support this. And we'll be having more camps. When we had a talk with the High Commissioner, he wants to organize more camps. And well, Jamaica has been kind to us. It's time to give back.
So overall, you would say that the turnout has been very positive.
Yes, of course. And I think possibly what we need more is if we can give some specialist care too, where some of the patients might need some way it can be worked out.
In what areas?
All, including orthopedics, skin specialties. If something like that can be worked out in the near future.
Why did you decide to come to this medical camp today?
Somebody called me and told me that there are medical team known here on this way by the school. So I should come and check with them because they know that my health is not so up. So I just come on, come feel about it, and then somebody called me and come across and them asked me what problem I have, and I told them and they start me with some medication and I hope it works.
And medication for what? What medication are you
using? And ulcer and pain.
Alright, so why did you come to this medical camp today?
Do I hear that them up here and I just come to get some medication. Because they had me up here and I never reach up here, so I reach here today. And I want this health center to clean up and look back and what
So you think then it would be helpful if they had a health center here once again?
Of course, we need it. So we'd be glad and proud of it. Yeah, man.
And overall, are you happy to receive treatment here today?
Of course. Because a lot outside.
Sorry?
Because it's very expensive outside, out of the packet.
So would you want to see more of these camps being established?
Yeah. Especially since customer eye.
And do you think that the community would benefit if they had a clinic here?
A whole lot. Great.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.